Good afternoon. Usually I would start with music, but since this first, I want to apologize for being delayed a couple days with the Clemson review. My brother-in-law needed me to handle some house stuff done, and I didn't get around to it until today, so I do apologize for not having a Clemson review report card back on Sunday as I wanted to. Hopefully next time, this won't be a recurrence in the future, but I will preview Wake tonight at 6 o'clock, so just 8 o'clock this evening, so be a look out for that. About, I would say, around 7 o'clock this evening, I'll do the Wake preview at that point. But right now, let's talk about the report card against Clemson, which, my friends, it's not a good sight. Clemson game. It's not good. Not a good sight, guys. Let me get right to the point. Okay. Saturday's loss versus Clemson was a very bad one, like the one in 2004 in the OB, only worse in my opinion. We committed 11 penalties for 79 yards, while Clemson committed just 4 penalties for 39 yards. In the second half and overtime, we committed 4 penalties for 29 yards. That's an average of 7.3 yards a penalty to just 1 for 15 yards by Clemson. Now, both teams, I'll be fair, were effective on third down conversions. We were 57%. Clemson was 50%. Each team forced 2 turnovers, which more like a wash, but Clemson took advantage of theirs. They got the pick 6 out of one of Jacory's picks in the fourth. Special teams defense let us down once again. We allowed 173 yards of total returns, all on kickoffs. It's just 56 for us, and that's totally unacceptable. That needs to be better going into the Wake game on Saturday. We're up 10-7 at halftime. Up 10-7, sorry, not 10-7. We're up 10-7 when we kick off the Spiller. Figure let's take a chance, see if we can bury Clemson deep in their own end. Instead Spiller near the end of the half, after Damian's touchdown gives us the 10-7 lead. He takes one back to the house. Clemson gets momentum to lead right back going to the locker room. Took poor angles. Tackling was just horrible again. We have to get that better. That has to get better. Some people are calling for Nuncio's head to be gone after the season. And after Saturday's debacle on special teams, I'm gonna be one to start calling for Nuncio's head. Because the tackling's pitiful. The special teams defense, especially on kickoffs, is awful. And we're taking bad angles on tackles. You can't do that, guys. You cannot do that. That's the simple reality, ladies and gentlemen. Can't be done. Okay? We left 14 points on the field on Saturday, and also that's unacceptable. Now, the play calling for the most part was pretty good, except near the last drive and in overtime. On the last drive in overtime. That reminded me getting conservative, more like Patrick Nix running the offset of Mark Whipple. Okay, look, Whip. I think he's a hell of a coach. He has a proven track record, national championship, Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a consistent winner. But I gotta call him out on this one. Why did we not go to the tight ends more in this game? They only touched the ball 3 times, twice by Epps and once by Jimmy. Especially on the last drive of regulation, Clemson only has 1 timeout, and you need 3 yards to move the sticks and kill more time off the clock and force Clemson to have to use that last timeout. That, my friends, is unacceptable. Okay, unacceptable. So even if Clemson gets the ball back, it would be with less time, like say about a minute and a half, say about a minute. But instead, they get the ball back 3:23 to go in the game, and credit Clemson's defense. Hey, they came up big when they had to. They made the plays RD didn't, and especially on that last drive in regulation and of course in overtime, the Ford catch in overtime. Now it just came down to plays. Clemson made them into big spots, and we didn't. Defensively, this loss is on Shannon first, since he is the head coach, and he takes a lot of responsibility. But I got to put this loss also on Lovett. It's inexcusable not to have an effective pass rush. We didn't have that against UCF, and we sure as hell didn't have it against Clemson. We made Kyle Parker look like a Heisman candidate, and that is inexcusable. Completely inexcusable. Okay? He was 25 of 37, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And on third and longs, that means more than 6 yards to go. Clemson was 50% in those situations. You've got to make those stops in those situations, and we didn't do that enough on Saturday in those spots. Now, Lovett might be the defensive coordinator, but when I saw the D on Saturday, this had Randy's fingerprints all over it. I saw no adjustments. I saw no blitzes like we did against UCF. I didn't see it. I saw basically a vanilla defense out there, folks. I'm not going to cut it any away. This was a vanilla defense from Randy like we've seen the last couple of years. Okay. Now, in short, bottom line, this loss is on Shannon on down. That's all there is to it. This is from Shannon down. Okay. Now, here's the ugly report card versus Clemson. Offense gets a D. It was good until the last series of regulation and the overtime possession. Questionable play calling in the end. Jacory's 3 picks didn't help matters here. And 1 being a pick 6 for Clemson. And 4 turnovers but in all. That's unacceptable. That we have to protect the ball a hell of a lot better, and we didn't do that. Defense gets an F. We allowed the game-winning drop touchdown to Ford in overtime because guys were out of position and missed assignments. Like Randy Phillips even said, that was his man. That should have been his assignment, and it wasn't. Okay. Also, 410 yards allowed in the game. That's inexcusable and unacceptable. This scheme, like I said earlier, had Shannon's fingerprints all over it. Lovett again might be the defensive coordinator, but he's that in name only. This defense is Randy Shannon's defense, folks. Look, I love Shannon, but this one is on Shannon. Special teams, F. 173 yards allowed, 1 touchdown by Spilling at the end of the half. We allowed Clemson to start drives in the second half from their own 40, while we were starting drives from our own 20. And for the game, they were starting drives from their own 39, while we started our drives at our own 23. Total disaster here yesterday. Total. So, basically, we got to shake this loss hurts. We're 19 in the BCS standings right now. Who knows what happens the rest of the way. I think we will run the table the rest of the way even with this loss. We will bounce back against Wake on Saturday. Up in Winston-Salem, and that's not going to be an easy task, but I'll talk more about them at 7 o'clock tonight when I preview the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Usually I would open chat, but since I am going to prepare myself for Wake, and I got the preview in so late in the week, the review of Clemson so late, I'm going to come back at about 7 o'clock Eastern Time tonight, and I'll preview the Wake game. Take it back. I'll do that at 6 o'clock Eastern tonight because we're doing the World Series up here in Central Jersey. So, and it's another matter altogether. But I'm going to preview Wake at 6 o'clock this evening, not 7 o'clock as you might see it. It'll be done at 6 o'clock this evening. So I'll see you then. And win or lose, guys, go Canes.